guys, welcome back. We are back in the AFL 2024 season. We've only got a couple of days before it begins, and we have our good friend Mr. Flashcrow, or
Hello there.
hello there, and he is an obvious mad keen Port Adelaide supporter, and it's hit. I didn't get any. Didn't get a hit.
No, I was looking for a cup of poison or
A
something.
cup of, a cup of potion. But anyway, he's our resident South Australian reporter. He's been good enough to come on board to the channel and give his insights to what's happening in the north of the country. How are you, old man?
I'm good. I'm barely awake, as you can probably tell.
Yeah,
It's a
well,
bit early here for me.
we're in a different. I'm in Norway at the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just catching up on the Brisbane Lions overseas trip.
How are they going?
Freezing.
Yeah, they're doing a bit of cold weather training, are
Yeah,
they?
low altitude training. Yeah,
Yeah.
so they should be primed. So anyway, welcome to this season. Are you happy? How do you feel? How do you feel about
How do
this
I
season?
feel? Apprehensive as I am at the beginning of every season, but I think we will improve this year.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, I think so. Um, Although there's been a bit of a setback with Riley Tilthorpe, but I don't think he's going to be the be all and end all of us. I think it's really going to come from our midfield.
And what is the update on the Filfinator? Is that what you call him, the Filfinator or something?
Filthy.
Filthy
Yeah,
Phil.
he's oh no, not the Phil bit. That's a bad name from the past. Um, yeah, he's I think he's oh, to be quite honest, I can't remember what the latest thing is. I think it's a torn meniscus. Meniscus, is that the word?
Yeah, meniscus.
Yeah, I think he's got a problem with that. So definitely not going to be available for the start of the season.
How many weeks?
Uh,
6?
they haven't said, but I reckon at least. I think he will probably have to come back through the SANFL. Um, he won't get. He's not a certain walk up. Not now. It was touch and go anyway. I think from prior to that, but other people may say differently. But I think he's going to be good, but no need to put any expectation on him yet, especially with the injury.
Not that you can read too much into the pre-game, but I had a good look at that young kid that you've got there for Blaze or for Blasey, or how do you say that? I don't even know who this kid is, but he looks all right.
I'm guessing you're saying Belays.
Blaze, that's him.
Yeah. He's actually, yeah. I think Port Adelaide supporters were a bit miffed that we got him because his father played for Port Adelaide or Port. I don't know if it's Port Adelaide or Port Power or whichever incarnation of their franchise you want to refer to. But one of them anyway. He played quite a few games for him. But we got him because he was born in Egypt.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, there's been a couple of big decisions that are going to happen in the AFL,
Yeah.
and I want to get your perspective on them, what you think about it, and also what's your predictions for them. So we'll go back to the first hit, which is a good friend of yours, Sam Power Pepper.
Yes, Peppa Pig.
Yeah, Sam. Well, you can be Granddaddy Pig if you want,
No,
Grandpa
no,
Pig if you want.
no. I think looking at it, look, I'm probably a bit controversial, but I, I'm in two minds. I mean, really, he didn't have to go in that hard. I mean, the main thing is it was a bloody practice game. It wasn't even one of the sanctioned. Not one of the main.
Not getting points. Not getting.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't even that. It wasn't even like last weekend's lot where, you know, yeah. I think he's, a bit of a. I don't know. I think I'll be reserved on what I say, but it's touch and go whether or not he could have pulled out in time, but he didn't. And so, yeah, 4 weeks is probably fair.
4 weeks.
Considering what McAdam got for Adelaide last year for not even giving the person concussion and not even injuring him, I think.
Well, in my personal opinion, I don't think he did anything wrong. Yes, he definitely went in a bit
Well,
too hard, but he didn't go in
but how much?
shoulder or anything. He went in to help tackle, and he got swung
No, he
into.
didn't. No, he didn't go in to help. You wouldn't be helping to tackle at the speed he was moving in.
The obvious one. The obvious one is Jai Simpkin. He's got cleaned up by the Saints player.
I tell you what, that Saints player must have been. I wonder where his brain was.
You think after all the training and all of the talk about hitting people high.
Well, not only high, but high, late, person's in a vulnerable position, right on the boundary, could have smacked his head
Right in
into
front of the camera.
Yeah, like, I don't know. How much can you get it wrong? I mean, so what are your views on what Clarkson said?
Well, if the AFL is going to be consistent about it, if racism is a no-go zone, which I think it should be, well then homophobic views or homophobic slurs should also be a part of that, just like any other offensive terminology or words that would impact anybody. Would it? That's what I think. So I think he should be. Well, again, we've never been in this situation where what can you do to a coach? You can fine them, you can fine the club, but you can't fine a coach. You can't
Why not?
suspend a coach. We put
No.
so much expectation on players to do the right thing. They lose income, they lose games, they lose media, they lose all these things. But anyone else in the AFL, they can do and say whatever the hell they like, and there's
So
no repercussion.
should they punish the club?
Well, the club's got nothing to do with Clarkson.
Well,
Just,
why not?
just like a player who does cocaine has nothing to do with the club. So why
Well,
should the club have to pay for a player's indiscretion?
they do though, don't they?
Yeah, well, they do, but that doesn't mean. Well, why doesn't the coach also have to
Yeah.
suffer a suspension? Now, there's another interesting thing going around the AFL which I hate, which is the red card.
What? They're not talking about that, surely.
They are, and I'll bet your left nut, old man,
Oh, thank you.
that in the next 5 years we will have a yellow card, red card system in the AFL.
Yeah, well, I can't argue that they won't because the AFL do some pretty stupid things with the rules.
They're already talking about it. They've been talking about it for 2 years, and Eddie Maguire's the biggest pusher of this. And if he says it, well, it's going to happen within the next couple of years.
Well, yeah, well, maybe it's
the
something
last
that
5 years,
needs to happen.
he's been pushing two things. He's been pushing red cards, and he's been pushing a night grand final. And I bet you in the next 5 years you'll have both.
Night grand final I can see happening, but red card, surely that's too much like, football, or, as we call it, soccer. I think that's just, I think we'd be better off taking a rugby type of point of view and having a sin bin. Get them off, get them
10
out.
minutes, or maybe a red card for the quarter.
Yeah, something like that. Not a red card. Red card, yellow card. You've got too much hanging over your head, and there's too many things that can happen in a game where, once that card's issued, then what? Do they have an appeal panel as well, or I think it just would open up a can of worms. Just get it,
Interpretation again,
yeah, just get
umpires,
it,
more pressure on the umpires.
yeah. Just have a sin bin. Somebody, does something. If it's bad enough, get him in the sin bin for 10 minutes.
So more like ice hockey.
Well, yeah,
So
yeah,
to take them off for 10 minutes or 5 minutes or 10 minutes, whatever the ruling is, you're off. So
yeah.
then the team plays
Immediate.
for 17 players.
Yeah, well, why not? I bet you the coach would soon uh, teach them not to do whatever they did wrong.
Well, this is the argument.
Yeah.
I'm not. I'm saying I disagree with it
Mm,
because I think that is a total. Because all major sports now is a betting game.
for sure.
All
Yeah.
right,
Rightly or
and
wrongly.
rightly or wrongly, and the AFL has another stance on betting. They turn around and say, "Bet 360," and then have a disclaimer saying betting destroys your life.
Yeah.
All right. So it's a bit like when we were young and we used to watch the Winfield Cup and
Yep.
smoking and all this sort of stuff. They never had the little disclaimer, but
Yeah.
they're still taking the money from the betting agencies. And so
Well,
anytime that you have betting agencies involved and you have a rule change that could affect the outcome,
yeah.
that could
Makes
be
a big difference.
dangerous. Right. So anyway, what are your predictions for the top eight? I want to hear this, old man, because
Well,
you have probably one of the top four teams.
I don't know if top four. I've actually I'll actually cheat with this because I agree with Squiggle. I think their predictor is not too bad, although
You sent that to me. I'll put it up on the screen.
yeah, it's I think that's pretty much where it's going to end. If anybody doesn't know, you go to squiggle.com.au. But they've got Melbourne top with
I
Brisbane's.
can't see Melbourne on top.
I can't either. They've
Too many problems.
well, you think at some stage, even if they start well, you think at some stage during the year they're going to, the problems are just going to get too great. So maybe that's what lets, because they've got Adelaide at fifth, but maybe Melbourne might drop far enough to allow. I keep on looking over there because that's where my monitor review is. I think that they might drop enough to allow Adelaide into the fourth position maybe because they've got Adelaide at fifth. They've got Port at six, Geelong at seven, Sydney at eight. Of course, Brisbane they've got second, followed by GWS and then Collingwood. So Collingwood are fourth. I don't know if they've got. I mean, I just read on the AFL website that Collingwood have got her horrific draw, but
Oh yeah, the 21 home games
yeah, I can't see how.
and the five buys. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's horrendous. It's
yeah, I can't see how they could even come to
mm,
that conclusion.
mm.
But there you go. But yeah, I think.
And
But
I think they also have 9 blockbusters that they have to play. They have to endure. I tell you what,
yeah,
oh man, they have to endure 9 blockbusters.
yeah. I mean, how can they be
Ugh,
expected to make any money whatsoever?
exactly. Imagine, playing prime time with no other competition on a Friday night in front
Yeah,
of 90,000 at your home stadium, 3 minutes walk from your home.
yeah.
Oh,
I don't know how they do it. It's
imagine
just
the travel home.
yeah. Well,
Yeah.
and they keep on getting handed that year after year, even when they didn't.
Oh,
You know,
yeah. They
even
get
when they weren't flag pies.
exactly. It's just no wonder they're not successful. They just
Yeah,
keep
yeah,
getting handed this bad draw.
yeah, yeah. The worst draw ever, every year.
What about Geelong? Where are you on at Geelong? Yeah. You,
Well, Geelong have been falling off a cliff for the last 4 years.
yeah, well, they've been falling off a cliff for the last 25 years, and every time I say they fell off, and called them Cliff, they keep coming back.
Do you think they'll fall off this year?
Well, I said the same. I've been saying yes for 10 years,
Yeah, well,
and they won a grand final 4 years ago.
yeah, Squiggle's got them at 7.
Yeah, you just can't write them off.
No, they're a powerful team, and they play at Spud Park, so
Yeah, it's Bud Park, and they're a good. We talk about Melbourne having a culture. Jesus, Melbourne with all the billionaires that they have in Melbourne, they would just one of them pay $1 billion, go down to GmbH Plus Community Centre,
yeah,
and buy the culture that's down there, because they
yeah,
get they get players for half price just to come
yeah,
there.
well,
And they
yeah,
always, you know what they say, old man? They say they like the lifestyle
yeah,
to live in Geelong.
yeah. Well,
Have you been to Geelong?
I think I escaped there once.
Exactly. Why would what? I don't understand. They say the surfing. Well, if you want to go surfing, you go up to Damo and hang out on the Gold Coast.
No, we all know what it really is, but I'm not going to say.
Oh, you mean that they're getting extra money?
Possibly,
Oh.
but that's neither here nor there, is it? Because
No,
it's
we'll
the
we'll do it.
culture.
We'll do an expose on that one day, old man,
Yeah, well, what from our prison cells?
on your deathbed.
Yeah. Well, who do you think's going to finish bottom 4?
Bottom four is definitely. Oh well, number one is West Coast. West Coast haven't improved. I watched your game against them this week or last
Well,
week.
tell me this: their midfield. Who did they have in last week? Considering you watched it,
No idea.
they didn't have any of their decent players.
Yeah, they had Gaff and they had them all, didn't
Yeah, I think they had quite a few. I don't know what. I think they were better than the same time last year. I'm not sure if they'll finish bottom. I think North will finish bottom.
they? Oh no. North are on the rise. North have got some good young kids.
On the rise to where?
To second bottom.
Yeah.
I think there's going to be a couple of big drop offs. I think
Mm.
Essendon could drop.
Yeah.
Not well. I'm not going to say good drop. They will drop, and they're all talking about Bulldogs. I think Bulldogs will miss the eighth.
Uh, yeah, I think they will too.
I don't know that they're not going to be bottom three, of course, but I'm worried about Carlton because I watched exactly the same game plan that they had last year.
Yeah.
Sydney have a really good team. I can see them pushing up. Who else is a challenger? I can see Melbourne dropping
Yeah.
because of the culture. They whenever people are, oh man, when you meet a guy and you say, oh, how are you? I'm great. How's your marriage? Yeah, it's fantastic. You know he's telling you shit.
Yeah.
All right.
Most definitely.
Same with the football club. How's the culture? Oh yeah, the culture's fantastic. Oh, okay. Is that why we have all these drug allegations and people want to leave and people are arguing with their coaches and what? All right. So
Yeah.
in a
So
football club, that is a big thing. So I can see them dropping.
I think
Frio. Okay, my prediction for the year.
okay. Go on.
Frio in the bottom three.
Wow. Yeah, that's a bit of a harsh call.
Suns.
The Suns. What you reckon they're gonna
Could
go
be
down?
still there again.
Pardon me.
So
I think
2012, 2013, 2014, 2015, 2016, 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020. 1, 2, 3.
I think Gold Coast will probably be bottom half of the ladder. Yeah, most definitely. But
Hawthorn. Where have you got Hawthorn?
Oh wow.
Oh, wow.
Nowhere near it. What about you? Where do you think?
There's promise
Yeah, there is promise,
that
but
Wardlaw or whatever, he's a good kid. Kaczynski could
I think
turn
I
into
think
something. But I've read this book before.
I think mid ladder at best.
Oh, I think they could drop too.
There's too many other teams that should do better than them.
Richmond,
Well,
where you at with Richmond?
I have a special hatred for Richmond.
Yeah, we all do. I have a cream for it.
Yeah,
it's called
Rich.
it's called spiky.
I tell you what, I reckon Richmond will be end up lower than Hawthorn.
Oh, you're gonna go that far?
Yeah.
I don't think they're that bad, but I think they're bad.
Well, you can only hope.
You can only hope. WS.
Oh, they're up near the top end. They're in top four for sure.
Why?
Oh, because their media team is fantastic.
Or is the AFL having a big push into New South Wales?
Well, they've been having a big push into New South Wales for years, haven't they?
Yeah, but maybe they're getting a bit serious, seeing that the NRL went to Las Vegas and pulled their pants down.
Yeah, maybe, but yeah, I don't think. I think it's pointless anyway. New South Wales is a bit of a pointless experiment.
What I get out of all this, old man, is like, so you're from Adelaide, you're from a AFL, not an AFL,
It's a footy state.
a footy rich state that's been a
Yeah,
footy rich state for a long time.
yeah. Same as WA, same as Vic.
Exactly. Tasmania has a very proud tradition. Sandful is well known, great players, produce
Yeah,
wonderful players, all for the last 120, 30 years.
yeah.
But in Queensland, it's not like that. In
No,
New South
Queensland's a bit,
Wales, it's opposite.
but how many supporters, how many members does Brisbane have?
Oh, we got lots, 45,000. Because
Yeah,
it's a great game.
so it's not bad, is it? I
Yeah,
mean,
no,
for Queensland.
it's a great
So
game.
why can something happen in Queensland that can't happen in New South Wales?
No. That's not because what happens is that every week 1,000 Victorians move from Victoria to Queensland to retire.
And I suppose,
So
Sydney's got its followers, hasn't it?
they support AFL, but you can't get a Collingwood supporter who's been supporting Collingwood for 70 years to come to Queensland and all of a sudden support the Lions.
No,
They
that's true.
support the AFL. They watch the game, but they don't
Well,
support the
let's
club.
face it, Lions aren't really the Lions, are they?
No, we're the Bears, and then before that we're Fitzroy, and
Yeah.
we're proud of that. There's no Lions supporter who won't be proud
Well,
of
do
the
you still
Roy
have it on the
boys.
you still have it on the back of your Guernsey?
Yeah, we've got the BBFF LGBT.
What's on the back of your one?
This one is older, so
Doesn't have it.
this one's from the. This is an old one, old man. This is from
Old
the
one.
'93 or something. This one.
Ah,
It's even got
yeah.
CUB on it, which is a curse in Queensland. Okay, so we'll get into our tips. So I have to put my glasses on, old man, because I'm an old man.
Yeah, if I put my glasses on, I'll look even older.
Swans and Melbourne.
Hmm.
So we've got the Bloods against the D's.
Yeah, well, it's a bit tricky, this one, because,
Pretty tough game first up, isn't it?
well, it is considering the Swans have a couple of injuries, don't they?
Mm.
But it's at Sydney Cricket Ground, so,
Which is the worst football ground in history.
well, no, that's,
GGMBH
yeah, that's the worst
plus
cricket ground.
LGBT. Yeah, that one.
Yeah, That's the worst.
Well,
But
the second one is the SCG
yeah. So I
Plus,
don't know. I don't. What's the weather forecast in Sydney
uh,
for this game?
expensive.
It's going to be an expensive with a
It's
chance of
going to
hot
be
dogs.
expensive with a chance of a little bit more expensive.
I think I'm going to go Sydney.
Yeah, I am too. I think
Um,
they've got a good midfield. They've bolstered their back line and they've got a decent forward line with Armity. And I think
yeah,
there's just too much drama going on in
yeah.
Melbourne.
Well, yeah, but sometimes it doesn't matter. I reckon by 5 points.
5 points. I'm going to go a little bit more than that. I'm going to go 4 goals.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
I think they're the real deal. The Swans. Friday we have the up and comers, the
Yeah.
Lions against
Yeah.
Carlton.
Mm.
So,
Well, I don't. You should never tempt fate, but
I'll go first because
okay.
it's my team. So
Yeah.
I won't talk about the Lions first. I'll talk about Carlton. Carlton, I'm quite impressed with what Carlton did last year, and I think they've got a really good spine. They've got a really good midfield when it works, and I think they just rely too much on Curnow and Mackay.
Yeah.
If they could split those two up somehow, get in a different mix, they've definitely got the team to push you. They're not an easy team to beat, but uh, but from what I've seen, the Lions just have too much class all over the ground.
Well, few things really, isn't it? It's the Gabba. It's going to be in night time.
Well,
Uh, so it's got to be Brisbane. Have to.
so you're just going to say that because of the Gabatoir?
Well, no, of course not. I mean, Brisbane's so much better than Carlton. Um,
Hey, well, just to start off
I
this,
think
just
we'll
to
put it
start
this
off the
way.
season, how many Lions players do you know?
Yeah, I think we actually went through this in another conversation.
Anyway,
Not a lot,
I'm just joking. Anyway, don't worry
not a
about that.
lot, but I do know. I tend to follow teams as a team rather than individuals within
Yeah,
the team.
I'm the same.
But I think Brisbane. Well, you only have to look at Sportsbet. Don't forget, gamble responsibly.
Yes. The
Yeah,
guy in Vietnam, make sure you
yes,
responsible, get better.
but I think they're well. Let me look at this. $3.20 Carlton are paying.
Yeah, and we're paying $1.17, I think.
Yeah, I think it's a dollar
Dollar
36. But
seventeen. Yeah.
okay, so the Suns, Gold Coast Suns, and Richmond. Bit more challenging, but not much. Um,
Yeah, but
again,
there's a lot going on here, isn't there? With Dave, what's his name? Damo or no?
well,
That's
do you
not.
know what I find?
What's his name? Who's the coach?
Uh, uh, oh, you mean for Richmond?
No, the old
Damien,
Richmond coach, Damien.
Damien Hardwick,
Yeah, what do they call him? Damo or?
Damo, Damo. I don't know.
All right, so there's a lot going on there. So you've got old triple premiership coach leaving a club after he said he was done. He's done all the hot dogs in the world. He's been to Bunnings. He sizzled them. He put all the onions on top and all the tomato sauce that you could
Yeah,
possibly buy for $40. And then 2 weeks later, he pops up on the Gold Coast and says, "I'm now the new coach of the Sunners."
yeah. Well, I was wondering where that was going for a minute. Um, there's something else. I mean, I'm sidetracking here, but I've just noticed that in this opening round, what do you notice? What's different about this opening round compared, apart from the fact that not every team is playing? What do you notice that's different?
There's no Hang on. Swans, Melbourne, Lion, Carlton, Suns, Richmond. There's no derbies.
Well, even more shocking than that, every game, a Victorian team is travelling interstate.
Oh yeah, they've got to get that one out early
Yeah,
while everyone's still sore.
so
While
it doesn't
everyone's still warming up.
tire them out.
Oh, is it?
Um,
Okay, so Melbourne's playing at the SCG, Carlton playing at the MCG, Richmond playing
no, Carlton are playing at the Gabba.
Gabba, Richmond are playing at the Carrara. What, and the Pies are going all the way up to Canberra?
Yeah,
What, 4 hours?
yeah, I know. It's
Oh,
it's a hard draw though.
I'll have to have them on drips when they get back.
Yeah, they'll have to do some. I don't know. Do they have a bye the following week? I don't know.
What, four buys at home. 4 buys at home.
Anyway, so Richmond and Gold Coast. I'm going Gold Coast.
You're going to go Gold Coast against Richmond, old man.
Yeah.
That's a big call. What?
No.
Why?
Well, because Richmond aren't going to be very good this year.
Ooh. Why? Why are you saying that?
Because I hate them.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. But do you hate the Suns? Or just not
No, I
the
don't
Suns?
mind. Any of the non-Victorian teams, I don't mind too much.
What about that Damien Hardwick as the coach? He used to be the Richmond coach.
Yeah, well, he's a bit of a. I don't have a high opinion of him, even though he is a premiership coach.
So we might go into the fucking Wagnalls for that one.
No, it's all right because
I think he's going to be a good thing for the Suns, and I hate the Suns. Like you follow Adelaide, just you have a passion to hate Port Adelaide.
yeah,
We have exactly the same feeling against the Suns, because when the Suns entered the competition, they basically destroyed the Lions for 7 years. They took all our sponsors. The AFL didn't give us any money. They gave it all to the Suns. All right, so we have that same kind of
Yeah.
regret or passion or whatever you want to call it. But we actually, if I'm watching the Suns against Adelaide, I'll follow the Suns,
yeah,
even though I hate the Suns.
that's very good. Why?
Because they're closer to me.
Oh, okay, I get you.
That's it. And because I know the struggles, and I know that for the last 19 years they haven't beaten anybody. And we all love an underdog, don't we?
Yeah, no, not this underdog. Be quiet.
Yeah, we all love underdogs, particularly under tables.
Come here, doggo.
All right,
Come on.
so it's my turn now, and you'll love this one, old man.
Yeah, okay.
Show me the dog.
There you go.
Oh, that's a pretty dog.
Yeah, it's pretty indeed.
All right, well, ask the dog, GWS or pie? Oh, I already know the answer to the dog. The dog's going to say pies.
The dog.
Yeah, okay.
Well,
GWS pies at GWS Stadium, whatever that's called.
yeah, well, I'm going to. This is an upset. I don't think you'll probably agree with me here. I'm going GWS.
Oh no, I've already. My tips are in. I've already got GWS. That's a lock for me.
Yeah, interesting. The
I wasn't thinking that was the upset of the round. I was thinking the Suns might be the upset.
So who did you pick on that one? Sorry, I wasn't paying attention.
I've got Swans, Lions, Suns, GWS.
Oh, well, that's a bit. We've got the same.
Yeah, I don't think it's unrealistic that the GWS beat the Pies.
It's interesting that on here, if you look at the tipping, 73% of tipsters have gone for Collingwood.
Well, they don't travel, so.
Yet, Sportsbet thinks otherwise.
It's pretty hard to catch a ball when you're running around going, where the hell am I? I've never been I have never been in this situation in my life. Imagine the shock to the Collingwood players when they're told that they have to get on that big shiny thing with wheels.
Yeah, yeah, and it's not a bus.
And it's not a plane.
Oh,
It's
it will be. Do you reckon they'll go by bus?
yeah, they'll go by bus.
You sure?
Collingwood people don't even know how to spell bus. Well, that's another story. But anyway, so you're going Swans, Lions, Suns, GWS, just like I am.
Yeah, yeah.
But I think the Swannies will win by 4 goals. You're going by 6 points. Did you say 6 points?
5 points.
5 points. All right, there we go, guys. So there is 2 old men that have been following the AFL since 1874, something like that.
No,
The old man's been doing,
I've only been following AFL since the Crows entered the competition.
yeah, which was.
Before that, it was Shanksville.
I think you are on the up, old man. But anyway, we are on the up and up, and we will see you next week with another sideshow. I was going to say sideshow, fireside chat with
All you need is a fire.
Yeah, exactly. We'll do like the Roosevelt thing. But kids today don't know who the Roosevelt is or whatever. But anyway, we'll do that. We'll bring you with the AFL news and also with our tips, our insights as people who have been watching this game for a long time.
Yes, I know nothing.
Until then, and can't tip for shit.
Yeah.
Until then, we'll see you in the next one.
Okay, bye.
Bye.